students, welcome to TSAT classes. Welcome to the classes on Indian polity and constitution. I am 𝗧𝗦𝗔𝗧. You all know me when you saw my classes for TSPSC Group 1 prelims. I am very fortunate that students have followed that polity constitution classes very well before giving the exam. And here I am in front of you again to discuss on the TSPSC mains series on Indian polity and constitution. As part of the paper 3, Indian polity, constitution, governance and society, let us now start with the Indian polity part. Today in this class, let us have a introduction of the syllabus, of how to write the answers and decode the syllabus in detail, and also look at the model questions of TSPSC Group 1 mains for Indian polity and constitution. Friends, as I said before, constitution is nothing but, it is a codified document. It is a codified document, and this document consists of certain provisions. This document consists of certain provisions like your schedules, articles, etc. So, constitution is a codified document which consists of certain provisions like schedules, articles, etc. And the application of this constitution, the application of the constitution for governance of the country, is called polity. So, the procedure to apply the constitutional provisions, is called polity. Today, in this episode of the series on Group 1 mains, let us decode the syllabus. TSPSC Group 1 mains explanation with special focus on mains. And let me be very frank, friends, many students who continuously watch our episodes request to have classes in pure English, and so the reason we are here to bring you the classes in pure English. These classes will be in English only. For other mediums, we have other videos where you can go and watch. Now, let us decode this paper 3 syllabus. Paper 3 syllabus. In paper 3 syllabus, we have specially 3 topics. Topic 1 is the society, which consists of two types of topics, that is the Indian society and Telangana society. The second one is Indian polity and constitution. And the third one is governance. These are the 3 topics which are part of the paper 3, which we are going to discuss in detail from this episode onwards. If you look at the syllabus, friends, look at this. If you look at the syllabus keenly, if you look at the main syllabus, as part of the main syllabus, in paper 3, we have Indian society, constitution and governance, 3 subtopics, 3 subtopics, 50 marks each, and the total marks is 150 marks with 3 hours of time, and this is a challenging part. This is a challenging part. There are total 6 papers. There are total 6 papers in the mains, where paper 1 is general essay, paper 2 is history, culture and geography, 3 is our paper, that is society, constitution and governance, economy and development, technology and data interpretation, science and technology and data interpretation, and Telangana movement and state formation. So in total each paper has 150 marks and the total marks is 900 marks, friends. 3 hours each is allotted for the exam. Nearly you need to write 15 questions. 15 questions. So the challenging part is, friends, you need to write 15 questions. You need to write 15 questions in almost 180 minutes. 180 minutes. That comes to approx 12 minutes. 12 minutes for each question. You can't take more than 12 minutes for each question. So 15 questions, 180 minutes, writing in 12 minutes is the biggest challenge in front of us. The second biggest challenge is having the content, having the knowledge over that subject. So when you have that knowledge over the subject along with writing practice of the questions, this 12 minutes challenge will be very easy for everyone who are giving the exam. Now today, as part of the Indian Polity and Constitution, I will decode the syllabus. I will decode this syllabus called Indian Polity and Constitution only, this subtopic only. When we discuss about the governance, I will in detail discuss about the governance part. Society, we will discuss about society in that classes. Today, let us stick on the Indian Polity and Constitution only. Indian Polity and Constitution, that is a Constitution of India. This topic has total 5 chapters. This topic has total 5 chapters. 5 chapters, 2 questions will be given from each topic. That is, you need to write 5 questions for sure, and which has 10 marks each, and that comes to 50 marks. Out of 10 marks, scoring 6 is good, 7 or 8 is very good. You can't expect more than 8. 6 is the target, 7 or 8 is the distinction. But what are the topics we have in these 5 chapters? Look at the chapter 1. Look at chapter 1. Chapter 1 consists of evolution of the Indian Constitution, role of the drafting committee, constitutional philosophy, preamble, salient features of the Constitution, basic structure doctrine and amendments to the Constitution. It looks like a single chapter, but look at how many subtopics are there in this. Evolution of the Indian Constitution, the role of the drafting committee, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and other drafting committee members. Constitutional philosophy, this is very important. Constitutional philosophy is linked directly to the doctrine of constitutional morality. It is linked directly to the constitutional morality. The next one is preamble, the summary of the Indian Constitution. Preamble, the gist of the Indian Constitution. Preamble, the introductory part of the Indian Constitution or the objective resolution of the Indian Constitution. Preamble. The next one we have is the salient features of the Constitution of India. India is a written constitution. Indian Constitution contains both federal and unitary features. Quasi-federal it is called. India follows parliamentary democracy. India as due process of the law along with procedure established by law, linked to Maneka Gandhi case. All these are the features of the constitution. Basic structure doctrine and amendment to the constitution as given by 𝗂𝗽𝗏 𝗧𝗏 case of 1973. Basic structure doctrine was proposed by the Supreme Court of India in 𝗂𝗽𝗏 𝗧𝗏 case. So this is the first chapter we are going to see. Look at the next chapter, second one. Fundamental rights, nature and scope, expanding horizons of the fundamental rights, enforceability against the state and other welfare state and distributive justice under the constitution, directive principles of state policy, rule of law and fundamental duties. Now this chapter is also important. It talks about part 3 of the constitution, part 4 of the constitution, part 4a of the constitution, linked to rule of law concept, that is, and also the principles of natural justice, and we have something called expanding horizons of fundamental rights. What are the recent Supreme Court judgments which are linked to the fundamental rights? What was the recent economically weaker section reservation judgment? In what way the constitution is interpreted as the society is moving forward? So this is one thing we will see again. The third one is the system of government, parliamentary system, central government, president, prime minister, council of ministers, parliament, powers and functions, state government, governor, chief minister and council of ministers, legislative powers, functions and legislative privileges. The entire part 5, part 6 of the constitution. Part 5 and part 6 of the constitution. Almost from article 52 to 151, article 152 to 237. So these articles which we should focus on chapter 3. Chapter 3 is very important as we always see the parliament and its function. How the parliament functions. What are the parliamentary tools, privileges, terminologies, bills, and also how it functions. Anti-defection law, parliamentary committees, budget, and also the elections of the President of India, the impeachment of the President, the appointment of the Prime Minister and ministers, other ministers, Article 74, 75, all these things comes under topic 3. Topic 3 is also important, and if you ask me, one of the easiest scoring topic is topic 3. Topic 1 and topic 2 can be asked in a concept-wise questions, but topic 3 are directly factual based and you have direct answers. So topic 3 is easy and important. Look at the next one. Look at the next one, that is your 4 and 5. The fourth one. The fourth one we have is judicial system in India. Judicial system in India, Supreme Court, High Courts, administrative tribunals, subordinate judiciary, judicial review, judicial activism, independency of judiciary and judicial accountability. Same. This is also linked to part 5 and part 6, where Supreme Court discussed in article 124 to 147 and High Courts 214 to 231 and subordinate courts 233 to 237. What are the expanding horizons of the Indian judiciary is what we need to focus here. The focus will be more on the expanding horizons of the judicial system. What way the judiciary is going to tackle the increasing cases. What is memorandum of procedure? What is independency of judiciary and judicial accountability? Accountable to dash, to whom it is accountable? Judicial activism is one thing we will focus on. So this is your chapter 4, and let me tell you, this is also very easy, straightforward questions will come. The next one we have is chapter 5, that is federal system, center-state relations, issues and challenges pertaining to federal structure, local self-governance, 73rd and 74th Amendment Act, panchayatis and municipalities, resolution of interstate dispute with reference to water dispute challenges and its implementation. So this is also linked directly to our center state relations, where we have three types of center state relations. The first one is the legislative relations, administrative relations, and financial relations. So these are the three center state relations we focus on in this particular chapter, along with the commissions associated with center state relations. Friends, let me tell you, these are the 5 chapters which we are going to see in Indian polity and constitution. For each chapter there will be 2 episodes. So total there will be 10 classes. 10 classes where I will deal in detail and give you some model questions and answers, how to write the answers and explanation part in the class. Now, what are the other 2 topics we have? As I told you before, the one topic is Indian society and Telangana society, which we have and we will discuss in detail after polity. And the next one is the governance part. The governance part also has total 5 topics. So that is society, we have 5 topics, right, where we have 5 into 10, 5 questions into 10 marks, that is 50 marks. We have polity and constitution, 5 topics, 5 into 10, 50 marks. And similarly, we have the governance. Now, governance is again 5 topics, 5 into 10, we have something called 50 marks. So total we do have 150 marks for this paper, and I will be dealing with all these topics. For each topic I will be taking 10 classes for you, for each topic, and we will discuss in detail about this. Now these are the introduction, syllabus explanation I wanted to give for polity and constitution. Now let us see how to write the answer and also see some model questions for this particular episode. And from the next episode I will start with chapter 1. in the next episode. But for this episode, let us see answer writing, how to write the answer and etc. But before explaining the answer writing techniques, what you are going to gain from these classes. Our objective is very clear, friends. 1, to provide you expected mains questions, meaning mains topics, expected mains topics. Our goal is to make you learn answer writing in given 12 minutes time. Now to ensure that you write an answer within 12 minutes, the third one is content provision, providing the content of what to write. I will explain how to start the question, how to start writing an answer, and what you should include in the main subject part, and how to conclude an answer. So these are the things I will explain in these classes. Along with that, we will discuss the important topics. Now, while writing an answer, what should be considered? There are 4 things which you should consider. The first one is called time management. Now, time management is very essential because you have already had some good experience in prelims. Mains is more tougher because your hand should work, your mind should work, and you should physically be active. Then only you can write an answer. Time management comes with 2 things. One, practicing the answers daily writing in the answers. You have to take the old questions and pen down and keep on writing the answers. 2, to write the answer, you can't scribble, right? You need content. You need to study. For that, you should need a plan. For example, I will tell you one thing. Imagine in a day, from morning to till evening, you have studied a topic, say, President and Vice President of India. After 5 p.m, pick 2 or 3 questions regarding the President and Vice President and start writing the answers. Every day, 2 minimum to maximum 3 or 4 answers you must write. Time management comes only with the practice, only with the experience, only with the practice. Again, I am repeating this. And time management comes with the practice and with the content available in your brain. For that purpose, you need to give your 100%. The second important point to be noted for answer writing is keywords. Keywords are very essential and important. What is the meaning of keyword? Whenever you saw any mains question, after the question you have seen some keywords like explain, elucidate, elaborate, justify, critically analyze. Did you notice that? These keywords are the key to your success. I'll tell you why. While writing an answer, this general studies is limitless. It is a ocean. You can't limit to a scope. You can't bring it down. It is very difficult to consolidate the things. These keywords help you to limit your answer. For 10 marks question, the maximum words you can write is 150 to 180 words. You can't write more than 180 words. You can't write less than 150 words. To tell you 150 is the maximum, but of course 180 is permissible. You can't write 3-4 pages for one question. You need to write 2 pages. Now in these 2 pages, you need to focus on the to-do points, exact points. So keywords are important. Now keywords, I'll tell you why they are important. After the question, when you look at the keyword limit the scope of your answer. You will know exactly what to write, how to write, how much to write. I have some keywords for you here. Look at the screen. When you are looking at any question, you look at these keywords. Look at this. Explain. What are the salient features of the Government of India Act 1935? Explain. Describe. Describe the nature of the Indian state. describe how parliamentary democracy is different from presidential democracy. Elaborate the procedure of passing a bill. Elaborate the procedure of passing a financial bill. Enumerate what are the salient features of Information Technology Rules 2021. Pen down, list down. Enumerate. Identify which type of democracy we follow in India. Identify. See, for every question when I am using a keyword, I am able to limit the scope of an answer, limit the scope of my thinking, Justify. Do you think India should move away from parliamentary democracy to presidential democracy? Justify. Elucidate, comment, analyze, discuss, examine. All these are the keywords. Sir, how to differentiate between them? When one keyword is given, how to write the answer? I am here, don't worry. While our classes go on, while we take the classes forward, I will explain about how to write the answer for each keyword. So, these keywords are very, very important for the exam. Keywords make sure that your answer is limited. Your thinking ability while writing an answer is limited. Okay. The next one we have is structure of the answer. Now, structure of the answer is very, very important. See, you are not writing an essay, you are writing an answer. For every answer, you should follow a structure. What is that structure? Let me tell you. What is the structure you need to follow? Structure of the answer. The structure of the answer depends upon these three elements. The first one is the introduction. The next follows is the subject. And the third one is the conclusion. If you are writing a 10-mark question, that means 150 to 180 words. Out of this 150 to 180 words, you need to give 70 to 80 words for subject. 70 to 80 words for the subject. 30 to 40 words for the introduction and another 30 to 40 words for conclusion. 40, 40, 80, 80 plus 80, 160, whatever, yes. So, this is how you need to go ahead while writing an answer. Minimum 70, 30, 100, 130, 130 to 160. See, 5 less or minus, it should be more only. You can't less it. So, this is the pattern you need to follow. Sir, what to write in introduction, what to write in subject, what to write in conclusion? I will show you some model answers now. Model question and tell you the answer. And the last one we have is use of a language. Use of the language. Language usage is very, very essential. Sir, I am not that rich in using of terms in English. Examiner, person who is correcting the answer, don't need also. You have to write in a very simple language. Very simple language. Simple words. Make sure the examiner understands it. Don't use too heavy words. Okay. Now let me show you a question. Okay. Now, the Government of India Act 1935 is the most important source of the Indian Constitution. Identify its features. See, identify, pen down the features. Very simple question, right? Now what you write, what you have to write, the introduction, the subject, and the conclusion, correct? Now what you need to write for the introduction, what you need to write for the subject, and what you need to write for the conclusion. Now coming to the introduction, Government of India Act 1935 is the largest source of the Indian Constitution given by the British Parliament. And Government of India Act 1935 is also a British Act made out of more involvement of Indians. Indians were involved to give this act. This is the introduction part. Government of India Act is a pre-constitutional law given by the British Parliament for the governance of the British India. Government of India Act 1935 is the largest source of the present Indian Constitution, and this act was made out of consulting more Indians through 3 roundtable conferences and also Simon Commission. Introduction over. Subject. Now what we have to write in the subject? Look at the question. The Government of the India Act 1935 is the most important source of the Indian Constitution. Okay. Identify its features is the subject. Identify its features. The following are the salient features of the Government of India Act 1935. List down 10 important features of the Government of India Act 1935. It promised an all India federation. It has promised a federal court. It has promised a federal court. So these are the things you need to identify and pen down 10 important salient features in the Government of India Act 1935. Coming to the conclusion, what provisions of the Government of India Act which we have brought into Indian Constitution is what you need to conclude in this answer. So this is one question I wanted to show you, but we will see more questions in the coming classes. So as I said earlier, we will start with the chapter 1, where in chapter 1 I will be dealing with some model questions and I will also tell you how to write the answers for it. Till then, thank you very much. Happy learning. Jai Hind.